Top 5 Uncracked Codes. Number 5. Chinese Gold Bar Cipher. In 1933, 7 gold bars were allegedly issued to a General Wang in Shanghai, China. These gold bars appear to represent metal certificates related to a bank deposit with a U.S. bank. The gold bars themselves have pictures, Chinese writing, some form of script writing, and cryptograms in Latin letters. Not surprisingly, there is a dispute concerning the validity of the claim for the deposit. It may help to resolve the dispute if someone can decipher the cryptograms on the bars. Nobody has yet put forth a theory as to their meaning. The Chinese writing has been translated, and discusses a transaction in excess of $300 million. It also refers to these gold bars which weigh a total of 1.8 kilograms. You can see the cryptograms here if you want to have a go at cracking the code. Number 4. Beale Ciphers. In 1885, a small pamphlet was published in Virginia containing a story and 3 encrypted messages. According to the pamphlet, around 1820 a man named Beale buried 2 wagons full of treasure at a secret location in Bedford County, Virginia. He then left a small locked box with a local innkeeper, and left town, never to be seen again. The pamphlet went on to state that the innkeeper, after having not heard from Beale for many years, opened the box and discovered encrypted messages. Never able to read them, he eventually passed them along to a young friend shortly before the innkeeper's death in 1863. According to the pamphlet, the friend spent the next 20 years trying to decrypt the messages, solving only one which detailed the tons of gold, silver and jewels that were buried, along with a general location. The still unsolved messages supposedly give exact directions, and a list of who the treasure belongs to. There have been many exhaustive searches for the treasure, and much effort spent on decoding the other messages, without confirmed success. There are many claimed solutions, usually bannered in combination with a book that someone is trying to sell, but no one has ever been able to produce a duplicatable decryption method. Number 3. Linear Array. Linear is one of 2 linear scripts used in ancient Crete. A third script is Cretan hieroglyphs. They were discovered and named by Arthur Evans. Linear B was deciphered in 1952 by Michael Ventris and was used to write Mycenaean Greek. Linear A is far from being totally deciphered, but it is partially understood and it may be read through Linear B values. Though the 2 scripts share many of the same symbols, using the syllables associated with Linear B in Linear A writings produces words that are unrelated to any known language. This language has been dubbed Minoan or Achaea-Cretan, and corresponds to a period in Cretan history prior to a series of invasions by Mycenaean Greeks around 1450 BC. It is believed that there may be some connection between Linear A and the Facetoes disk. Number 2. Manuscript. At least 400 years old, this is a 232-page illuminated manuscript entirely written in a secret script. It is filled with copious drawings of unidentified plants, herbal recipes of some sort, astrological diagrams, and many small human figures and strange plumbing-like contraptions. The script is unlike anything else in existence, but is written in a confident style, seemingly by someone who was very comfortable with it. 2004 There were some compelling arguments which described a technique that would seemingly prove that the manuscript was a hoax, but to date, none of the described techniques have been able to replicate a single section of the manuscript, so speculations continue over its recorded existence. The Voynich manuscript has been the object of intense study by many professional and amateur cryptographers, including some top American and British codebreakers of World War II fame, all of whom failed to decipher a single word. This string of failures has turned the Voynich manuscript into a famous subject of historical cryptology. Number 1. The Facetoes disk. The disk of Facetoes is the most important example of hieroglyphic inscription from Crete, and was discovered in 1903 in a small room near the depositories of the Archive Chamber, in the northeast apartments of the palace, together with a linear tablet and pottery dated to the beginning of the Neopalatial period, 1700 to 1600 BC. Both surfaces of this clay disc are covered with hieroglyphs arranged in a spiral zone, impressed on the clay when it was damp. The signs make up groups divided from each other by vertical lines, and each of these groups should represent a word. 45 different types of signs have been distinguished, of which a few can be identified with the hieroglyphs in use in the Proto-Palatial period. Some hieroglyphic sequences recur like refrains, suggesting a religious hymn, and Pernier regards the content of the text as ritual. And lately it has suggested to be a document in the Hittite language in which a king discusses the erection of the palace of Facetoes,